Welcome to Joe's Astrology, and this is a Synastry reading, Synastry love reading for Johhny Depp and Amber Heard. And if you haven't seen my mini reading on Johhny Depp, I'll link that down in the description. I have an individual chart analysis for him. Johhny Depp's here on the left, Amber Heard is on the right. She is a Sun in Taurus, North Node in Aries, and he is a Sun in Gemini. So let's take a look at that first. Sun or Taurus and Gemini are next to each other. They're adjacent, and usually that's not a very compatible match uh, for for two people based on astrology. And it's not always the case. Again, this is why we're doing this. We look at the whole chart, and but we could say, the Taurus Sun. She's the Taurus Sun. He's the Gemini. And right off the bat, we can see why wouldn't Taurus and Gemini be compatible? Well, Taurus is usually involved in security. They're involved in money. They search money for that reason, to be secure. They want consistency, routine. They don't like change. They're interested in pleasure. Uh, the good life. And Gemini, of course, anyone can be interested in that. Gemini could be interested in that too, but based on the sign alone, Gemini is not typically known to be that type of person. Gemini is okay with being less secure, and Gemini is okay with traveling around, uh, changing locations, not necessarily having that stability. They're okay with less. Typically, the sign is okay with less stability. And you think of someone like Johhny Depp, who I don't know his early life history, but pretty early in life he met some key people, and his career really took off. And I'm not sure if he went. I'm sure he did, but uh, early, pretty quickly, he's accumulated a lot of money. So for him, the money isn't really making him stable. Although it appears that way, he probably always had without looking at anything else, he probably always had this sense that he wasn't concerned about the money for stability. I think he probably moved to Los Angeles young, early in life, and you think of a Taurus person. A Taurus person would move to Los Angeles for specifically for money, to maybe be an actor, but they would do it in a more stable way. Where the Gemini would just move out there, not really caring about their stability. They would just do it, and we see that here. That's a major problem. That's why I'm really elaborating on this right now, because that is a major problem between Taurus and Gemini. So let's look at the moon. The moon, he has moon in Capricorn. She has moon in Libra. And we don't have the birth time for her, so that moon could be in Virgo. But let's just say it's in Libra. And at the very least, it's moving into Libra, if it is at that late degree of Virgo. And that makes a square. That would make a square to his Capricorn moon. And I have Capricorn. I have a lot of Capricorn in my chart. And even though I can appreciate all people, I can appreciate Libras, I would be shocked. I would be shocked if I ended up with uh, a Libra sun, particularly in my life. And we see that square to Capricorn with Libra. And we could say that the Libra, before we say anything else, that Libra moon is making a trine to his sun, so we do see some compatibility there. And his Capricorn moon is making a trine to the sun in Taurus. So between the air and earth, we would see some compatibility there. Uh, but where would the square be, and where would the trouble be between the Capricorn moon and the Libra moon? Well, exactly what happened in the Amber Heard story and Johhny Depp's story. With the Libra moon and the Taurus sun, uh, as I spoke about the insecurity and things of that nature, I would expect her to um, go through what they went through, where she would. I don't want to call her a liar. I'm not saying that she's a liar, but uh, the instability, the insecurity, the need to have that stability, as I said, with the sun there, and to have money, etc. That could have led, and how much money is enough to be stable, could have led, and that Libra moon could have led to what happened, like from a more deeper psychological level. You can see that Libra moon is ruled by Venus and the sun is ruled by Venus. This person would go pretty far to maintain the good life, maintain the um, pleasantries in her life. Where again we see the Capricorn moon is going to do it itself. They're going to do it themselves. They're going to climb the ladder themselves. They are not going to rely on somebody else. We think of Libra, the Libra moon. So she's the one relying on the Capricorn moon. Libra being the sign of codependency. Let's take a look at their Mars and Venus. He has Mars, Pluto in Virgo with Uranus as well, and she has Mars in Capricorn with Neptune. So we see a trine there between their Mars, which there would be some compatibility there. But more looking at her individual chart, we see someone here with this Mars Neptune, delusional. Often their actions are delusional, not really based in reality. Even though that Mars is in Capricorn, it's conjunct that Neptune, and you're dealing with a Mars Pluto Uranus here, a hothead potentially in Virgo, and I say he's a hothead, meaning this Mars is going to be activated if you're not living in reality for this person. So, being this isn't really a very compatible. These aren't very, very compatible Mars from that standpoint. This person here, this could get dangerous with Johhny Depp if his partner with this Mars Neptune is not living in reality and becomes delusional. The Venus, Johhny Depp has Venus Mercury in Taurus. She has Venus in Taurus as well. So we see a lot of compatibilities here other than that sun. We see a lot of compatibilities with this earth and air in the chart. Could have brought them together in the first place. And I mean, they pretty much have the same Venus. So his Mars is not contacting the Venus by aspect. By sign, it's a trine. And his Venus is trining, by sign, is trining her Mars. So that would give them a level of compatibility for sure to bring them together. But think about it. It's on Earth. It's all Earth. Did this couple come together because of practical things like money? Like, was she looking for that? Was she looking for that stability? Was she looking for money? And we can see his Mercury that's with that Venus is trining her Mars, that Mars Neptune. And that with Mercury involved and Neptune involved, there's that element of um, really have a hard time like realizing what's going on here. Is there a trickster involved? Is there, like I said, someone delusional involved? The minds aren't quite on the same page here. We can look at her Mercury as well. Her Mercury is in Aries, and as I said, the Mercury in Aries versus the Mercury in the adjacent sign in Taurus, uh, not compatible at all. The Johhny Depp's Mercury is going to be slow, again practical, taking its time, thinking things through. Her Mercury, hothead, not really thinking things through, just really probably more a passionate, emotional, act first, figure it out later. South Node, his South Node is in Capricorn. Her South Node is in Libra. Again, the incompatibility, the square there. The square between the two nodes, the South Node in Libra versus the South Node in Capricorn. South Node in Capricorn is very responsible, practical, thinking things through, uh, taking its time to build its empire, etc. Libra Libra wants to do it fast. Libra wants to use the mind. Libra wants to have it now. And we see the moon, his moon is conjunct her, well, it's in, his moon is, let me see what it is. His moon is conjunct her Mars. So that's a very, that would be a more caustic combination there with the moon Mars. Her assertiveness, her activity around this delusion is going to bother him emotionally. Her South Node in Libra, there's nothing in his chart contacting her South Node by conjunction. And the South Node, she has Mars. That Mars Neptune is conjunct the South Node of Johhny Depp. So we see where they're coming from. More of that Mars Neptune giving trouble. I mean, I would say the whole trial, the whole issue with the trial, that's that Mars Neptune. The whole situation, that Mars Neptune in the South Node. I mean, if you're looking at this chart, you're like, okay, Johhny Depp, you have Amber Heard, I'm your astrologer, and she has Mars Neptune on your South Node. I would say, I mean, I don't like to say not to, to run, but I mean, I don't know if I want to. Looking at this relationship, I would look for the red flags early on. That's all I'm saying. I'd look for the look for the red flags early on. Hopefully, I see them, and we can end this sooner than later. See, she's got that Jupiter in Pisces too, which would, all this pleasantry, the Jupiter in Pisces, the Mars, Neptune, the Moon, South Node in Libra, Sun in Taurus, Venus in Taurus. It would be very hard to figure all this out. Like this could be a person that if you weren't seeing the signs, it would be, it would come out of nowhere because this could be a very pleasant, based on these signs, this could be a person who appears to be empathetic, caring, but oftentimes these people too can be taken advantage of. So we flip it around that, um, maybe I don't know the whole story, but we could look at it that way, that they can often be taken advantage of because they don't have because they do have that tendency towards codependency, giving themselves up completely for that Taurus sun, for that for the money, for the lack of independence, so that they don't have to do it themselves, etc. They can live the good life. So there's much more that can be said about this. I'm going to stop there for now. I hope you enjoy this mini Synastry reading between Johhny Depp and Amber Heard.